Hey there folks, Mark Johnson, Tech Snobs. Full review, the Lumia 1020. One of the most sought after smartphones in quite some time. Mainly, it all comes down to this, folks, the 41 megapixel pure view Carl Zeiss lens on here. And that's really, what separates this phone from all others. I will jump into, just the first things first with the hardware and design. Very, very similar to the 920. From an aspect of how it's built, the 920 and the 900. Check out my video on the comparison of those devices. But very similar to that, the main thing you do see is the bulge on the back with this device. Although it is noticeably lighter in hand, which is very, very nice. Some other things about design, which is kind of weird, is like when you set it down, it doesn't lay flush. So if you're trying to tap on it, doing stuff, it definitely doesn't. It's not flush. So that's one thing to keep in mind if, when using this phone. But other than that, hardware, it's lighter. I do like it better, than the overall style of the, from the 920, it's lighter and so forth. So it makes a big difference. Some of the other things, everything's Windows Phone 8. It's got the latest update there. So not really too much has changed on the software front. Of course, you could still go and highlight your live tiles, and you can make them big, small, which is some very nice things. You can really personalize it, kind of the way you want. Some live tiles only go 2 different sizes, so definitely keep that in mind as well, because some, just give you more flexibility, such as like photos. If you have it all the way spread out, in large, you can see previews of your photos in it, even in the smaller size as well. So those are definitely nice. Some of the other things as far as, Windows Phone 8, I mean, it's definitely, everything's swift and fast. I mean, this one does have more RAM than the typical Lumia models that only have 1 gig. This does have 2. And a lot of that is really because of the Nokia Pro Cam app. And this application basically allows you to do so much more, with your photos, which is a great thing. So for instance, once you're in the camera app, it just gives you so many options. Now, I'll be honest with you, this thing takes some great photos, but you have to be the type of person that likes to really fiddle with the settings. So if you're used to using the DSLR, you do have your things like the white balance you can control. You have the shutter speed and all those fancy DSLR camera features and modes you can use that make this nice. Even the focus. I mean, you can really make the focus really refine and do like some nice depth of field shots, which I do like doing. There, like I said, here's your white balance. It has some presets like, if it's sunny out or if it's cloudy, and all that's fine and dandy. You could have the focus light on. So I definitely like it. And then if you press on the screen, what makes this one a little bit different from the 920 is when you press on the screen, it does not take the picture. It just focuses it. So it gives you an extra step. And then once you take the picture, this is what really separates this phone. Like, you can take a picture, then I can just zoom in and crop out literally anything I want of the photo. So like, that's where the 2 gigs of RAM comes in. So like, if I'm turning the picture, I can manipulate it. I can zoom all the way in on that. Then I can hit save. And then it will save that portion of the photo I did, which is great. And then it doesn't even modify the other picture, so I can always go back to that as well. So that's really where the the reframing and all those really high-end features you do get with this camera. I mean, it's like I said, it's by far the best camera I've used. Going through some of the shots on here, I'm gonna put some in this video. But it takes some phenomenal shots. Now, I'll be honest, like I said, I love the camera on this. I think it's by far the best camera on any, smartphone. But it does take, you got to play with the settings. You got to really have that kind of patience, to go through a lot of the, fiddling with settings. I mean, if you're not that kind of person, it probably won't be for you, because it's like, you can get very nice shots with auto. I mean, you take a picture, and I'm going to go back. Before I do a speed test, let me see if I can find a photo like what I just had up. Like, one thing I do love about, like I said, here's the outdoor shot. And then so what I like about it is I could just zoom in on this part, and you can literally, I could just zoom in and like that's what the original picture was. And then I could save it just like that. So that's really what separates this, is like you can just, you don't even know, I could take a picture of the sky with a tree involved and you don't even know there's a tree in the picture, just because you could zoom in and zoom out with and lose not that much detail, even on the side of this little mirror here. Which is the same kind of deal. So I'll have some pictures up in this review as it goes through, and you'll get a chance to look at some of the shots, and I'll have some links to the full res shots down below in the description. Another thing, we'll do a quick speed test, 4G LTE. That's fast as always. AT&T's always been very, very fast in that regard. Even now, you know, middle rush hour, I'm still getting a good 10 megs down on the speed test. So I definitely can recommend, you know, if you need a fast internet connection, whether it be tethering or just using the phone, the Lumia 1020 is going to fit that bill quite nicely. Some of the other things about it, that's pretty much the main thing about the phone. I mean, everything else is Nokia. I mean, you know, take a look at some of my other videos on my Nokia phones that I've had and reviewed in the past, but everything with this literally just comes down to 41 megapixel. I mean, that's really, this phone is for people that are really into taking pictures. You're a camera enthusiast. You don't like carrying a DSLR all around. This could very well, this is as close as you'll get to having one in your pocket. It does come at a price at $299 on a 2-year contract and $659 with no contract at all. So some other partnerships, they got some things going with Delta, you know, with certain apps, Delta Airline, and all kinds of cool things coming with Windows Phone, more updates coming in the future. But definitely be sure to check out the site for more coverage. There's going to be more coverage on newer Windows Phones coming out, rumored ones, and all kinds of fantastic stuff. Appreciate you watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care.